I moved into my new neighbourhood 2 summers ago. It wasn't anything fancy, just a quiet suburban street lined with maple trees, small front yards, and the occasional sound of children playing in the evenings. I was looking for peace, a fresh start after years of heartbreak and loss. My husband had passed away suddenly, and the loneliness had swallowed me whole. That's when I met her, Nancy, the woman who lived next door. She seemed different. She was always in a wheelchair, usually parked on her porch with a blanket over her legs and a distant expression. The first time I saw her, I felt instant empathy. I'd spent months helping my late husband after his accident, so seeing someone in that fragile state tugged at something inside me. One afternoon, I decided to bring her some cookies I'd baked. She smiled weakly, thanking me in a soft voice. "Oh, you didn't have to," she said. "It's hard for me to do much these days." Her home looked a bit neglected. Uncut grass, peeling paint and piles of mail. I figured maybe she didn't have help. "I can mow your lawn if you'd like," I offered. "It's no trouble." Her eyes widened for a second, not with gratitude, but something else I couldn't quite read. Then she smiled again, though it felt forced. "That's very kind of you. Maybe next week," she said quickly. From that day on, I made it a point to check in on her. I'd drop off meals, bring groceries, and sometimes just sit and talk. Nancy told me she'd been in an accident years ago that left her paralysed. She didn't have family nearby, and her husband, she said, had abandoned her once she became disabled. Her story broke my heart. Weeks turned into months. The neighbourhood adored her. Everyone admired how brave she was, living alone despite her condition. People donated food, offered rides, and did her yard work. She became this fragile, tragic figure everyone wanted to protect. But then, I noticed something strange. One morning I was leaving early for work when I saw her blinds move, just a flicker. I thought nothing of it until I realised she usually didn't wake up that early. A shadow crossed her window, standing. I froze. Maybe she had someone over. But then I saw her, Nancy, walking across her living room, no wheelchair in sight. My heart nearly stopped. I blinked hard, thinking maybe I was imagining it. But no. She was moving perfectly fine, swaying a bit to some faint music playing inside. That entire day, my mind was racing. I couldn't focus. Had she been lying all along? Why would someone fake that? What could she gain? That evening, I walked over to her porch like I always did. She was there again, in her wheelchair, blanket over her legs, acting the same fragile way. "Oh, hi," she said cheerfully. "Rough day for me. The pain's bad today." I stared at her legs, covered, motionless. Every word she said sounded like poison now. "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," I managed to reply, forcing a smile. That night I couldn't sleep. I told myself maybe I misunderstood, maybe she was in physical therapy or trying to walk again. But deep down, I knew. A few days later, the truth hit harder. It was Sunday morning. I was watering my plants when I heard laughter and music coming from the backyard behind Nancy's house. Curious, I peeked through the fence, and there she was again, dancing, full-on dancing. She was twirling with a man, laughing loudly, her hair bouncing freely, her legs strong and steady. It wasn't therapy. It wasn't struggle. It was joy, free, confident movement. I clutched the fence, anger bubbling inside me. The same woman who'd been taking sympathy from everyone, free meals, donations, rides, was now living a double life, but it got worse. 2 days later, I overheard my other neighbour, Mrs. Jenkins, talking. She said she needed help paying her electric bill, she told me. I gave her $200. Poor thing can't even walk, can she? I wanted to scream. I realized Nancy had been scamming not just me, but the entire neighborhood. Still, I wanted to be absolutely sure before doing anything. I didn't want to ruin someone's life based on one mistake. So one evening, I set up my phone by the window, pointing it at her backyard. I felt horrible about it, but I needed proof, and what I captured changed everything. Nancy wasn't just dancing. She was hosting small parties, with music, drinks, and laughter. I saw her friends arriving with bags of groceries, and she'd pretend to be disabled when someone unfamiliar came by, only to get up as soon as they left. The mask would drop instantly. I watched her jump, run and dance like she'd never been hurt in her life. That night, I sat with my phone shaking. How could someone fake something so cruel? So manipulative. By the next morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I called a neighborhood meeting, just a few of us who regularly helped Nancy. When everyone gathered in my living room, I played the video. Gasps filled the air. That's Nancy! She's walking! She told me she couldn't move her legs. The shock turned into anger, then disbelief. We all agreed not to confront her yet. Instead, we wanted to give her a chance to come clean, so we came up with a plan. We decided to visit her together, pretending we wanted to help fix her porch ramp. When we arrived, she greeted us with her usual sweet smile. "Oh, what brings you all here?" she asked, looking surprised. "We just wanted to help," I said calmly. "Oh, that's so thoughtful," she replied, placing a trembling hand on her blanket. "I wish I could do more myself." That's when I stepped closer and said softly, "Maybe you can, Nancy. Like, walk?" Her face drained of color. The silence that followed was deafening. Her eyes darted from me to the others. She tried to stammer an excuse. I don't understand." So I pulled out my phone and played the video. The room filled with the sound of her laughter, the same one from the party. Her jaw clenched. She didn't say a word. Finally she whispered, "You don't understand." I needed help. I was struggling. "But you lied," I said quietly. "We all trusted you." Tears welled up in her eyes, but none of us moved. She wasn't sorry for the pain she caused, only for being caught. After that day, the neighborhood cut ties with her. The donations stopped, the attention disappeared, and Nancy vanished within weeks. Her house went up for sale a month later. A new family moved in, cheerful, genuine, kind. The street finally felt peaceful again, but the lesson stayed with me. Sometimes the people who wear the biggest masks aren't hiding pain. They're hiding manipulation, and that day when I saw her dancing, I realized something even more powerful. The truth always finds a way to move, even when lies try to sit still. If this story gave you chills or made you think twice about who to trust, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful real-life stories. Every week, I bring you tales that remind us how karma has perfect timing, even when people don't.